I think it's time that black men understand what my mission, my personal mission is on YouTube. And that's to get black men to break free of all of the psychological chains that are holding them down. All of them. Break free of every ideology. Break free of every form of social activism. Break free of it all. And see, the reason why you're scared to break free of it because they keep you trapped by this notion that you're going to be out there on your own. You know, you're not going to be protected. But the truth is, we all walk this thing alone anyway, bro. We all walk it alone. I mean, one time could pull me over tomorrow, man, and beat me half to death. I'm by myself. Y'all could protest after the fact, but it doesn't matter. We all walk this thing alone. We have no protection by virtue of claiming to be a part of a community because the community itself doesn't exist. And part of the reason why the community doesn't exist because the community no longer has individuals in it. You see, the individuals is what made up the community. I tell my wife all the time, look, most of y'all don't remember the Fat Albert cartoon. He had a lot of characters in there. And all these characters were based on dudes that Bill Cosby actually grew up with. And I remember telling my wife, you know, that's how my neighborhood was. We had characters in my neighborhood. I mean, bro, none of us was the same. None of us was the same, but we were friends. None of us was the same. None of us talked the same. None of us dressed the same. None of us acted the same. But we were friends. Because that's what a community is. That's what friends are. See, a community starts from the individuals that come together within it, right? It's a physical area. It's not a virtual area online. The community is real. You're not a part of a community just because you live in a suburb and your skin is still black, you know, and you could talk pro-black all you want. You're not a part of our community because you don't live around us. You're not dealing with us. You're not here rubbing elbows with us. Hell, it's harder for me to say right now that I'm still part of the black community because I no longer live in an exclusively or majority black environment. But I do still go home back into that environment, you know, a lot. So, you know, I'm still connected to the community, but I'm not living in the community anymore. And that's what the community is. But back to the diversity thing, we don't have diversity anymore in the community. We seem to have this thing where we don't want diversity. This is why black women don't mind joining forces with the liberals with all of this push to shove agendas down our throat. Black women don't mind that because they got on board with that a long time ago to kill the individualism within us, to make all of us alike. They've been got on board with that. And that's a problem because the black community was never a place like that. It was always a place where the diversity was respected, where everybody was respected for being who they are. You like what you like, you do what you do, nobody said nothing. That was your thing. And we was thicker than thieves, and it didn't matter that we were all different. It didn't matter that we all have different personalities. It didn't matter that we believe different things. It didn't matter which language was spoken in any of our friends' home. Because, you know, not everybody spoke English first, so it didn't matter if somebody spoke French in their house, or spoke Spanish in their house. It didn't matter. We were all part of the same community. We were at the least neighborly, at the least sociable. But we don't have that anymore because we don't respect diversity. Everything I'm about to say, you already know it to be true. You are a slave. You are a slave to money, to social economics, to status, to politics, to ideology. You have sold your soul to have a place in a world order that you should naturally oppose. See, and the reason why diversity is such a threat to this new notion of black community, because it's not really a community. It's a few grifters that comes from college, right? That comes from the university, that become our leaders, right? They live off of us. So their job is to put us in a mental prison under the guise of pro-blackness. Keep us in this mental prison so that we can't move or do nothing outside of the paradigm of black community, of pro-blackness. See? And the crazy thing, I get a lot of flack from dudes, right? Like the thumbnail has this thing is like the thumbnail give you an impression that I'm going to talk about interracial marriages. I'm gonna mention it, but that's not the video about. But the crazy thing is though, but if I was homosexual, y'all would like me. Y'all would have less of a problem with me if I was a homosexual than y'all do with me saying go ahead and date you know, white girls, right? Especially white. I bet not tell niggas dating white girls, man. Y'all lose y'all brain. White girl, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, if I said that, you know, me saying no, you know, I'm homosexual because I'm tired of the clashes I have with black women, so I wouldn't became homosexual. I got a man now. Y'all would have no problem. Y'all would have less of a problem with that. See, it's amazing that a homosexual can still claim to be pro-black, and don't tell me they can't, because we watch black women do it since circa 2000. Don't tell me they can't. The lesbianism was so bad in the black community around 2000, 2002, 2003 that when you seen sisters with dreadlocks, you didn't know if you was looking at a pro-black sister or a lesbo. And they all had the little yellow, red, green belts and chains and beads in their head and purses. I mean, it was pro-black through and through, but the pro-black colors became the black lesbian colors during that time. Now, I know I ain't the only one old enough to remember that. And it lasted about 7-8 years. I know I ain't the only one who remember that. You didn't know what you was looking at. You seen a sister with dreadlocks. You seen a sister look pro-black man dressed out the red, yellow, and green. You didn't know what you was looking at back then. And that was done deliberately. Because the pro-black sisters, the real pro-black sisters, welcome lesbians in with open arms under the notion that they are all black women. So again, they got rid of diversity. We are all the same. It don't matter that y'all live totally different. Y'all have total different agendas. Y'all want different things. We gonna see ourselves as the same by virtue of just being women. And they tied the black man to that by virtue of being black. So this became representative of us also by default. By default. Think about it. When we have a situation where I can be homosexual and still claim to be pro-black, and y'all will have no problem with that, but I can't marry an Asian woman and be pro-black. I can't marry a Middle Eastern woman and be pro-black. I can't marry a Mexican woman and be pro-black. Yes, I'm skipping white girls on purpose because that's y'all. See, y'all have a talking point against white people, but y'all have no talking point against nobody else. Not really. Y'all will make one up, but y'all really don't have one against nobody else. But I can be pro-black and gay, but I can't be pro-black and be married to a non-black woman. That's the problem with y'all notion of community right now. Now, before I continue, let me say like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to receive notifications when I drop more videos. If you don't hit the bell icon, YouTube will not notify you because I don't trigger the algorithm. And if you've been here multiple times and not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you hit subscribe before and then got mad because I said something on the next video you didn't like and you unsubscribed, but now you're back checking me out again, hit the subscribe button and stop playing. This is not personal. You don't have to ever agree with nothing I say, man, but grow up. Just grow up. Because this is dialogue y'all need. Because nobody's having these discussions because nobody's going to have these discussions. First of all, nobody's bold enough to have these discussions. Second of all, nobody understands what they see, what they're dealing with. Nobody can articulate reality well enough to have these discussions. And that's why I'm here, to have these discussions. So anyway, this notion of community is really our prison. This notion of pro-blackness is our prison. And our wardens and prison guards and everything are the so-called professional managerial class, these educated Negroes that represent us in the media and represent us in government and politics, that represent us in social activism, you know, Dr. Umar and them type of dudes, you know, Boyce Watkins type, you know what I'm saying? Then you got the other types over there were Professor Black, you know what I'm saying, Jason Black, and then you got the other types like these Sinetta and, you know, Polite, you got those types, right? But at the end of the day, all of them are just grifters. They are the things that keep us stuck in a place that don't exist but only in our head. Because as I pointed out before, you can't live in a majority white suburb and still claim to be a part of the black community just because you're black. No, you're not part of the black community. You need to physically live around black people. If you don't physically live around black people, you have no right to get on here talking about black people and what we need to do as a collective, because we are not a collective. I don't know what y'all think is going on, but you can't claim to be a strong unit when you're scattered all over the damn place. That's not how that works. Your strength comes from physical unity, actual unity. But most of y'all wouldn't even talk to me, man, if y'all seen me in the streets. Most of y'all wouldn't want to have nothing to do with me. If y'all seen me with a flat, bro, you know what I'm saying, struggling to hold a flashlight while I try to fix the flat, y'all wouldn't even come over there and hold a flashlight for me so I could change my tire. And you know it. We don't have a sense of community towards each other. We treat each other like strangers at best, enemies at most, at worst. You know, in most occasions, we treat each other like enemies. In the best occasions, we treat each other like total strangers. So all this sister, my brother, we don't see each other as sisters and brothers no more. There was a time when we did. There was a time when those words meant something. There was a time when we seen another black man, we actually seen our brother. There was a time when we seen another black woman, we actually seen our sister. But that time is gone. In fact, that time has been gone. It's been gone so long that it's not even funny. Right now, all we see is strangers. And that's a problem. But at the same time, the second one of us try to make a move for self, it becomes a problem. He's selling out. We sit here, we worship money, and then some rapper get lucky and make some money. We call him a sellout as soon as he makes some money. All of a sudden, after Jay-Z did all this music preaching to people, spitting hood, Jay-Z was one of the, best hood spokesmen there ever was. But the point is, soon as a brother makes some money, we call him a sellout. But we worship money, you know. But wasn't Jay-Z the one that bailed out everybody who got arrested at one of them George Floyd protests? Didn't Jay-Z come through, send his lawyer down there and got everybody out of jail? But we don't ever hear about that, you know. It's like if a white man make money off of business, you know what I'm saying? He's cool. Don't matter what the business is. We praise him. Oh man, Bill Gates did this. Oh man, Jeff Bezos did this, you know what I'm saying? We praise them. But a brother makes some money. Oh man, sell out. He could pay for this. He could do this and make changes. He could do that. All of a sudden, he owe us something. The same people that talk bad about him the whole time he was on his way up, now talk bad, talking about what he need to do for black people. Come on, man. We twisted, bro. We twisted. We don't know which way we want to go. We don't know what we want. We don't want nobody to make it out of this madness. We don't want nobody to do nothing but be beholden to people that don't like them. Be beholden to a bunch of strangers. But we don't say nothing about them billionaires that y'all don't know about, like the one that paid for them college loans. You know what I'm saying? This man's obviously been rich a long damn time. He just not started getting out here in the media where people know who he is. But what has he done for black people? Nothing. What has Tyler Perry done? They all do a little something, but Jay-Z do something. But he don't get no credit. He does about as much as anybody else does. But he gets no credit, him and Beyonce. Didn't Beyonce go meet up with the governor of one of them states talking about some of the stuff that was happening and actually got results? I can't remember exactly what it was, but got results. But we don't talk about that. She's part of the Illuminati now, drinking goat's blood. We messed up, man. We don't really have a sense of community, bro. We don't have a sense, because we don't want diversity. And we want no form of individualism. Yet, all of us wants to be our own person. The truth is, most of y'all have no life. Claiming to be pro-black is the only claim that you can make that make yourself feel good. Most of us have no life. That's the problem. Feminism is the life for too many black women. Pan-Africanism is the life for too many black people. Hebrew Israelite, Nation of Islam, Moorish Science Temple of America, Moorish Science Temple of America. This is the life for too many people. Red pill community, see, so-called community, it's not real, but red pill and MGTOW and the manosphere. This is the life for too many of y'all. Y'all have no life outside of these things. So you're like the mushkish doll. I know I gobbed it up. The Russian doll, right? The doll that's inside of a doll, that's inside of a doll, inside of a doll. That's how a lot of y'all are. You're inside of a idealistic box that's inside of an idealistic box that's inside of an idealistic box that's inside of an idealistic box. And on each level, you have the leaders or the people that benefit by keeping you in that box. And every box you take and throw away, you free yourself up a little bit more, but there's somebody else on top trying to, no, you stay in this box, and you throw that box away. Good, I'm glad you threw that box away. Now this is where you need to be, but stay right here. You throw that box away. It's the same song. Because the people that's speaking to us, that's making these videos, the content creators, the politicians, the religious leaders, the social leaders, none of these people really care about you. Because if they care about you, if they cared, the first thing they would tell you to do is break off from everything. Look, man, if you love something, the first thing you do is let it free. You free something up and let it make the choice where it wants to be. What these so-called people do under the guise of pro-blackness and black community is they try to take away your right to choose where you want to be. Well, you could choose to go by white folk, but that ain't gonna work. Find out then. Let a person choose and go try. Let them find out for themselves that it doesn't work. Now, the only thing that you could ask is that after a person tries something and it failed, that they come back and tell the truth about what it was. But the truth is, we don't do that either. Because a lot of people, they hang all their cards. They put it all on the line to coon out, sell out. So even when it doesn't work out for them, they never tell nobody that it didn't work out. They never tell nobody it didn't work out. They'll continue to sell you down that same trip. Look at the whole swirling thing, man. This is 10 years ago. This is 12 years ago and stuff. But now that whole swirling thing that went away, you don't hear nothing about it no more. The videos don't do that well. The channels have all but gone. Because as more black women try to follow that advice, they realize that, first of all, it's not as easy as they make it seem. Second of all, white men are lame and they don't really want to do it. But they had their moment. But anyway, my point is, we have to understand that if you love something, you free it up. These black leaders, these community leaders so far, they don't love you because they don't want you to be your own person. Because trust me, you'll find out whether or not, being out there around these people is what you want to do. You'll learn. I hope you don't get hurt badly, in the process, but you'll find out. And what you should do when you find out, you should come back and you should tell other youngsters the truth.